Daniel, coach has summed it up. Difficult on paper, but he thinks that it's surmountable if we pick the right players. You, especially as a big fan of Cristiano Ronaldo, you know what the Portuguese are capable of course. And we know what the South Koreans, the last time we played them, Jordan Ayew scored a hat-trick. It was before the 2014 World Cup. But obviously it will be a totally different Korea team right now. And then obviously there's Uruguay. Obviously, again, not the same team from 2010. Even not the same coach. They've sacked a coach for the first time in a long time. But they're there again. And is that the same adjective you would use? Difficult?
Yeah, it's look, friends, all 32 teams, in fact, let me say 31 teams there, because Qatar is not necessarily a top team, and they know it themselves. But you see, they are, wherever we landed, it was always going to be difficult, because everybody is coming with a certain mindset to impress, a certain mindset to make a statement. So nobody's going to have it easy. Even the top teams know that they'll have to work for everything that they'll get. So yes, it is difficult. Portugal are difficult. Uruguay are very difficult. South Korea themselves have quality in their team. And you see, the Koreans play this brand of football very similar. In fact, the Asian teams play this certain brand of football that can be difficult for African teams. We saw what happened to Senegal last time around against Japan. And when on paper, we thought that that's where their victory would come from, but it was a very difficult encounter for them. And we've seen it quite a number of times. So, yes, look, it's going to be difficult.
Look at what they did to Belgium.
Look at what they did.
Even though they lost.
They lost the game, but they gave them a run for their money. So, look, it is. I don't think we should judge this Korean team by what they did in 2018. 2018 was difficult, and they went out in the group stages, but they have quality in this team.
And they beat Germany.
Yeah, they beat Germany. They still went out in the group stages. But look, Son is there. They have the guy from Wolves, Hee Chan-hwan.
They have 3 Kims, 4 Kims.
About 6 Kims. They have, look, there's quality in their team, and that's what you find scattered around almost all the teams in the competition. When you look at this team, you can tell 2, 3, 4 names are household names, depending on the leagues that you watch, the top leagues that you watch. So everywhere is scattered with quality. I'm just happy with the sequence in which our games are going. I think it helps us a lot. I know what Portugal is capable of, but I feel like Ghana can match up to Portugal. They usually don't start competitions well, so that's the best time to face them at the beginning of the competition. We are in March and we are talking about something that's going to happen in November. But look, it is difficult, but yes, as Coach said, it's something that we can overcome. But in as much as we have to take the best players, you see, when it comes to the World Cup, the selection is just not based on quality. It's also based on the attitude of players. And you have to take a group of players who are willing, who have always been willing, who are very, committed, determined to do anything for the badge and do anything for the team.
Let me help you here. Where it's not just about them.
It's not just about them. It's about the team.
Yes.
It's about the team. And it looks that is very important. Player A may be better than player B. And we've seen it several times. We've seen it, several times where top players are left out of some teams and we don't understand. But when the managers come out to explain, it's just based on commitment. It's based on how a certain player fits into a plan and how a certain player who we all feel individually may be better than the guy who was chosen ahead of him does not fit into the plan. So let's trust the technical team. But I feel there are some key players in this team. There are some key players who even played fringe roles during the qualifying who have key roles, or I feel will have key roles to play at the World Cup. And I don't think they should be overlooked for some certain players who in the beginning were not ready. Because look,
or may necessarily be better.
Because friend, trust me, everybody has their reasons for turning down call-ups. But if you are really, really hurt by something, and if you are really going to put your foot down and say you will not play, the World Cup shouldn't change your mind. If the World Cup changes your mind, then it means that you could have changed your mind before. You just decided not to. The lure of the World Cup has just all of a sudden changed your mind. And you see, for things like that, you can't tell if it's the last game, it's the dying moments. We need that person to put his body on the line. Would he be able to do it? Would he be willing to do that? We don't know. So let's go with the guys who are willing, who have quality, and are also willing to do everything for the jersey.
And obviously, that's not to say that those who didn't previously play may not be willing at a certain point. There could be some reason why they weren't ready.
Yeah.
So suddenly, like Daniel said, if they are ready and they show that they are willing to put body on the line, And it is now that that time has come. Why not?
Why not?
We should be able to put them in there. But he makes a critical point. You know, we have to. I think even as a country, I totally agree that there has to be a point where we also have to be able to show that we reward loyalty, and that we reward players that have been willing for a long time to die for the country. So the point, you see,
that loyalty is always rewarded.
Yes. So I'm saying that we have to balance those two.
That's
we
what
have to find a good balance.
There has to be a balance.
Yes.
As I sit here today, if there's a player who did so well in the World Cup, it's up to the quality required in the World Cup, he goes.
Yes.
He goes.
Of course.
2 ways about it.
That is rewarding his
qualification. If he's equally
talent.
good, like the one who didn't play, why should I go? He goes. But here's the case where he may be good, but the quality required, he falls short.
That's true.
And if that other person shows commitment and ready to go, you take. Because
that's a very good example for you, Coach. That's a very good example. If Ghana gets Tariq Lamptey, and then they've got Dennis Odoi, and they've got Andy Yadon, and they have to drop one, and they drop Andy Yadon, you would have no concern.
I'll have no concern.
No, that's not.
I'll have no concern.
How do you think Andy Yadon should feel about that?
No, but he's been paid for the job he's done, isn't it?
Yeah.
He didn't do it for free.
Yeah. So in that case, you can't say you've been loyal or you've played all the qualifiers.
It has got nothing to do with
it. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
You see, okay, then let's take this team as it is to the World Cup.
Yeah.
We get beat and we come back after the group stage.
Yeah.
Okay? So all that we are saying is very, very simple. We really do need committed players. That is paramount. Yeah. In addition to the commitment, they may all be committed. Okay? If I'm selecting, I'll go for committed players first. Now, within the commitment, if there's somebody better than you in terms of quality, that person goes to the World Cup and you sit at home. It's as simple as that. Because look, we are not going to be added to the numbers. We are not just going to say we were there like happened in 2014 when we were just there and then we're just part of the participant. No, that will not happen. We need to go there like we did in 2006. And like, look, we need to go beyond that quarterfinal stage. Right. And I think if we do our things well, we have the potential.
Yeah. And just to clarify, for someone like Salisu, for example, you know, and Daniel makes a point. If he wasn't ready to play for us all this while, and, you know, people that have been ready to play and committed and are good shouldn't be dropped for him necessarily because he's the better player. No. But at the same time, you're looking at taking 4 centre backs. So if you take out Juku and Amate, the rest of the players, it's a no-brainer, to be honest. Taking also doesn't necessarily mean that guarantees his.
Friends, I don't think it's a no-brainer. If you compare what Joseph Edu is doing with Celta Vigo, you can compare it to what Salisu is doing at Southampton. Abdul Mumin is a young, fantastic defender. We all see his exploits in Victoria. And you see, it's what I'm saying is that if you're going to improve an aspect of the team with players who are now coming in, then they have to be far better than the guys who are already there. Exactly. And I don't think...
Salisu is far better than
Joseph Edu. You see, and I'm saying he's not far better because you don't want to bring in a new person and tamper with the partnership that you've already created. So, Amate and Jiku, for me, should be untouchable.
That's what I'm saying, but that doesn't mean...
and I'm saying if you are bringing... If you are taking 4 centre-backs, for me... If you are taking 4 centre-backs, for me, what we have now is okay. It's good enough to feature at the World Cup.
I don't think so.
Joseph Edu is good enough to feature at the World Cup.
Joseph Edu isn't... Look, let's put sentiments aside. Joseph Edu isn't better than Salisu.
None of our centre-backs.
Joseph Edu would not be playing in the Premier League and playing as well as Salisu is.
The fact of the matter is...
He just doesn't have the capacity. He doesn't have
No, you see, that's very unfair. Relax.
Do you know any centre-back of Joseph Edu?
When Salisu was playing at Valladolid,
Joseph Edu's height in the Premier League.
When Salisu was playing at Valladolid,
he was one of the best in the La Liga.
Joseph Edu is also one of the most consistent defenders in the La Liga.
Yeah, but that's...
At that time, would you be able to say that he will come into the Premier League and boss it the way he's doing? No, you can't say... No, you see, it's very unfair to say Joseph Edu cannot play in the Premier League.
At that time, everything was written all over Salisu as a top centre back.
It shouldn't be about Joseph Edu and Salisu. I think the first, all things being equal, every player stays fit. Our 4 centre backs at the World Cup should be Jiku, Amate, Salisu, and Joseph Edu. These 4. They are the 4 I will pick. for the World Cup.
You drop Moment.
Yeah, I'll drop him because of exposure, tournament experience, and all that. He's not. And then if you cannot compare where he's playing to the EPL, no, you can't do that. And Salisu's, he's got something that none of them has got.
So what has a wonderful left foot,
and that is what brings proper balance in centre back.
Interesting.
His passing ability, he's the best among all of them.
That's
His
true.
tackling ability, he's the best among all of them.
So
it's about, you see, the boy I know, the Salisu I know. Look, if we don't manage this thing well, he will say, "I am ready to play, but I'll be ready after the World Cup." What would that have done to us? It would have denied us the possibility of going to the World Cup one of our best.
Wait, guys, you see, let's not create the impression. Relax. You see, this is what I know. Coach, relax. Let's not create the impression that if we don't take Salisu to the World Cup, we are going with one foot.
No,
are you kidding me?
No, that's not what we are saying.
No, so let's not talk like if he doesn't come now.
What coach is saying,
what I'm saying
is the same thing I'm saying.
Quality.
That
if he comes in the team, he adds more quality.
Yes,
but it doesn't mean that if he's not there, we are going to be falling short.
I don't think anybody has said
so then we can
but
move
the
on.
point everybody is making is that if he's available, you take him. It's a no-brainer.
You see, friends, that's why I'm saying that. Let us talk about areas where we badly need strength.
And I think that is one department.
You see, if Tariq Lamptey is available and we don't take him, and we go with somebody like Yadom and Odoi, and Odoi gets injured and Yadom, there's a clear disparity between the two players in terms of quality. But if Tariq Lamptey is there, we know that he adds quality. If Salisu doesn't come, and something happens to Amati and Jiku, and Joseph Edu steps in, don't you think he'll be able to match up to the quality?
We've seen, to be
he
honest,
can.
Is it, no,
he plays
to be honest,
to
be honest, I have seen Joseph Edu play for the Black Stars. This is
have
not
you seen
personal.
Salisu play for the Black Stars? So how are you going to judge?
And it hasn't worked.
Have you seen Salisu play for the Black Stars? So how are you going to judge?
No, I don't.
But did you relax?
You see,
I'm
trying to let you guys be
relax,
consistent in what you are saying. When Joseph Edu was playing at club level, we all sat here and screamed he should play in the Black Stars.
No, but he hasn't had too many bad games in the Black Stars.
He comes in.
Edu has done well for the Black Stars.
Yes, but he's had some
very bad games.
He's had some bad games. In the same way, Salisu hasn't played for the Black Stars.
Has Tariq played for the Black Stars?
So we are in no position to.
Yes,
you see, but you are saying that. You were saying that you have seen Joseph Edu. I know where you were going. You've seen Joseph Edu play for the Blacks, and that's unfair.
That's fair.
No, it's unfair.
I'm just stating facts. I have seen him.
And you've equally not seen Salisu play for the Black Stars. So how can you make a judgment?
You see, what I'm saying is, I have seen his quality on display. I have seen Salisu's quality on display.
And you've not seen Joseph Edu's quality in the La Liga.
I have not been impressed.
I have lost count of the number of bad games Jordan and you have had for the Black Stars.
Yes.
But he says he's still in the team. Yeah. So if Joseph Edu has one bad game, it doesn't make him a bad player.
No, it doesn't.
He's a fantastic defender.
Okay.
But what I am saying is this. If I have my way, it will be Amate, Jiku, Edu, and Salisu.
Okay.
I brought out a situation where, look, if I'm Salisu, put yourself in Salisu's shoes, and Ghanaians start saying that you didn't want to play because of the World Cup. I will just sit back and say, you go to the World Cup. After the World Cup, I'll be ready to play.
The World Cup, there's an AFCON.
There's an AFCON.
But in that case, they are qualified before the AFCON.
We will be depriving ourselves from taking one of our. No two ways about it. But he's an upgrade of any of our centre backs.
I would be surprised if anybody thinks he's not better than all of them. But here's the thing. We need to take a very short break right now. When we come back, we will explore the realms of other leagues here on the show. Don't go anywhere.